Welcome back to Claude Code News. Version 2.1.100 is here, and it's a release that security-conscious teams and power users will want immediately. There are critical bash permission fixes, a new session tracking header for proxy setups, PowerShell hardening on Windows, and some genuinely nice quality-of-life wins around memory, tokens, and VCS support. Let's get into it. This one's important. Several bash tool permission bypasses have been patched in this release. A \escaped flag could previously be auto-allowed as read-only, potentially leading to arbitrary code execution. On top of that, compound bash commands were bypassing forced permission prompts in auto and bypass permissions modes. And read-only commands with environment variable prefixes were slipping through without prompting, unless the variable was a known safe one like lang or tz. All three of these are now closed. If you run Claude Code in automated or unattended environments, update now. If you route Claude Code through a proxy or API gateway, this one's a quality-of-life win. Claude Code now adds an X-Claude-Code-Session-Id header to every API request. That means your proxy can group all the requests from a single session together without having to parse the request body. Clean aggregation, easier debugging, no extra work on your end. Windows users get two improvements. First, if an external command argument contains both a double quote and whitespace, Claude Code will now prompt instead of auto-allowing it. This is a hardening measure for PowerShell 5.1's argument-splitting behavior. Second, the env command now applies to PowerShell tool commands, not just bash. Previously, you could set environment variables for bash, but they silently didn't apply to PowerShell. That inconsistency is gone. Using Jujutsu or Sapling for version control, Claude Code now excludes their metadata directories, .j8j and .sl, from Grep searches and file autocomplete. Before this fix, Claude could accidentally descend into those internal directories and return noise or slow results. Now they're treated like .git, ignored where they should be. Two under-the-hood improvements that add up fast. When you mention a file using the @ syntax, the raw string content is no longer JSON-escaped before being sent. That alone cuts token overhead meaningfully on large files. Separately, a memory growth bug in long sessions has been fixed. Markdown and syntax highlight render caches were holding on to full content strings indefinitely. Both of these should make long working sessions noticeably leaner. A handful of important fixes round out this release. The resume command was failing with a tool use IDs were found without tool result blocks error on sessions created before version 2.1.85. That's now resolved. File operations like write, edit, and read were failing on files outside the project root, such as your global claude.md, when conditional skills or rules were configured. Fixed. There was also a potential out-of-memory crash when using feedback on very long sessions. Patched. And 429 retry logic has been improved. Previously, all retry attempts could burn out in about 13 seconds if the server returned a small retry after value. Exponential backoff is now applied as a minimum floor. That's a wrap on Claude Code 2.1.100, security hardening, proxy-friendly session IDs, PowerShell parity, modern VCS support, and a leaner memory footprint. If this was useful, hit subscribe so you never miss a release. See you next time.